times.
Y'all, where are the men? I love us women, but like I'm tired of going to events and it's like 1,000,001 girls and there's like 2 men in the corner. Like, men, y'all don't want to leave your houses no more? What y'all doing? Y'all, we say we over the apps, but y'all sure not outside.
So I just came from a singles party, singles gathering, and it was amazing. Yay! This was my first one. Now, the only downfall was that in a room full of women, there was 4 men. Where are the single men? I'll scroll on TikTok, and I guess my algorithm be algorithming because I'll literally see like these dating chronicles from these men, and it's very interesting to see it from a man's point of view. But are y'all just doing this for social media, or are y'all actually out there? Because I'm confused. Y'all sure enough wasn't there tonight. Dating. All right.
That is what I'm here for. Come on. You came for the... Yes, I came for the niggas. They should come out. Yeah, I'm out for them.
Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What did you see?
Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None.
I saw so many Black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for Black creatives did like this Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not
singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night at Union Church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Steven since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. There's going to be 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships,
we just left the event, right? So bad. I think we were just saying that we think that we've actually hit rock bottom.
No, it was actually...
We think we've actually hit rock bottom, and I think we were either punked, catfished,
like
or...
it felt like a sick joke.
And my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me, no mas, por favor. I am not going to no more of these, okay? That rhymed. Period. I'm not going to anymore, and here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is, you go to one single event, you go to them all. They got the same message, and I'm gonna tell y'all what they be saying so that you can know ahead of time. If you feel like you're called to go, go. If you feel like the Lord is telling you to go, go. If you've never been, go. If you want to mix and mingle with other single people, go. But let me tell you, this is gonna be the singles conference starter pack. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. Okay?
I'm gonna get hate for this, but whatever. I approached a Black man this week at like a dating event, and he was not interested in me. And That by itself is like not a great story, right? I tried to shoot my shot. He was not interested. I moved on. But immediately after I walked away from this man, he went up to a group of 5 white women and he introduced himself to all of them. And then I kind of observed out of like the corner of my eye for the rest of the evening, this man was only going up and talking to different white women. Later that night, another very attractive black man came in, the exact same thing, only talked to the white women that were in the room. There were maybe 6 or 7 black women throughout, and I could tell. I would look over at the black women occasionally, they would be looking, we would all be observing the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing, right? And as someone who has reviewed a bunch of different like dating events, I have seen this play out so many times where you walk into a room, the black women are looking for other black men and the black men are not looking for black women. Unless the host of the event is like a black person or a person of color. And as much as I say that I am going to start dating outside my race,
a lot of men already are losing so much interest in dating. A lot of men won't even date anymore, period. And if we keep treating men the way that we currently do, this is gonna be just a normal thing. All the men who still have hope and are still dating are just gonna stop. We need to come to a middle ground so everybody can be happy in relationships and no one feels used or taken advantage of.
Ain't no desirable man going to no speed dating event. I don't know who need to hear that, but before y'all keep wasting y'all money and time going to these speed dating events, don't do it if you expecting men that you would actually want to be there, because they're not. If there are any men there at all, they're definitely not going to be the type of man that you would want. They're going to be undesirable, but they won't be actual top tier, attractive men with things going for themselves. You know why? Because if a man is actually desirable, why would he need to come to a speed dating event? He wouldn't. Desirable men get women constantly, whether it's walking out the house, going to the store, going to the gym, going to school. They don't have a problem in the woman department. See, y'all having a problem in the men department, which is why you're at a speed dating event. But these men are not having an issue with women when they're desirable. They don't have a problem getting girls. You have a problem getting men. And that's something that you need to work on. But as far as going to these speed dating events and thinking that you're going to meet actual men that you would want, they're not going to be there. You'll be good if you even get any men there at all, even the ones that nobody wants.
All right, so ladies, let me help y'all out. Y'all throwing single mingle events where y'all want men to show up. Y'all throwing whole conferences where y'all selling tickets and y'all having 300 women show up and 3 men show up, or no men at all. So y'all want the men to show up? Let me go ahead and give y'all some advice. You know, like when men throw parties and they know it's gonna be a bunch of hard legs there, what do they usually do? Ladies get in for free because they really want y'all there. But they know if y'all gotta pay, that y'all really not gonna show up. But if they say it's free, y'all gonna file up in that motherfucker. It should be the same way with these conferences. Like, y'all really want these men to show up. That's why y'all there. Y'all there for the men to come. These men might end up buying you drinks while you there. Hell, they might even end up taking care of you. Like, why should they pay to get in when they gonna spend once they get there anyway? Like, you literally don't have to make money off of everybody, especially if you're trying to make an event like this successful. Like, y'all literally filing in by the hundreds to get men to talk to you. Then the men gotta pay to get in that motherfucker. Pay for your drinks if they selling them. End up paying for the first date and everything else after that. And I know what y'all gonna say, right? Men with money don't care about shit like this. But men with money ain't showing up at the events either. Like, ladies, y'all already had this shit planned out. Y'all knew how this shit was gonna go. Y'all need to start making this shit enticing for the men for once in y'all goddamn life. Yes, y'all filing into a singles conference, but if y'all looking for the men to come, then you gotta know that this shit ain't really about you. Just some advice though, you ain't gotta listen to me.
A girl posted a video about how we are in a single epidemic, like an overwhelmingly large amount of people who are single. Yet everyone seems to be looking for love. And I'd like to add my 2 cents as to why I think that is. I think it's 3 main things. I think 1, everything has to be social media approved now. It's not enough for you to find somebody that makes you happy. You also have to find someone that is going to put you in a relationship where you're able to brag about it all on social media. And that's not helpful. 2, The idea that there is going to be this perfect person who completely understands you upon meeting them, and you won't have to communicate the way that you want to be treated, and you won't have to have these tough conversations, and everything will just work out perfectly, that's not helpful. And then 3, which I think is like probably the most deadly and something that I myself am very guilty of, is that we have gotten so far into like encouraging everyone to be independent and be happy on your own, which is important. I say it all the time. It is very important. But I think that we're kind of in a point where we've overcorrected. Like, you keep seeing this rhetoric of like, oh, you don't owe people this, you don't owe people that, like, you don't have to put up with that. And I think that you guys are missing the fact that like when you are in a relationship with someone, even if it's not romantic, even in a friendship, there are going to be aspects of this relationship that are not necessarily pleasant all the time. And the solution can't always be, well, never mind, I'm just going to be single. I'm just going to be by myself. Or let's just go no contact. Let's just not even be friends anymore. That's not the solution. Everything cannot be solved by, oh, I'll just be by myself and let's just not do this anymore. That's not how you stay in a relationship. Yes, you do need to be independent. Yes, you need to get to a place where you are happy on your own. But if you want to be in a relationship, it is going to come with tough decisions and decisions that will come where you could make the choice to say, I'm just going to be single. Let's just not try anymore. Or you could compromise and be patient and be forgiving. Like, being in a relationship of any sort, again, not even romantic, being in any sort of relationship is going to cause you to have some sort of a conflict. And you can't solve conflict if your very first or last answer is to just say, let's forget it. Let's just split up. That's not how you stay together. I'm glad and I'm grateful that society and women specifically, really women, have moved past a point of needing to be in a relationship because, like, if you weren't attached to a man, then you could not provide for yourself. I'm glad for that. But the reason why your grandparents and all of them stayed together was because they had to stay together and they didn't have any choice. And that it's great that we're not in that anymore. But I do think in order to maintain a long-term partnership, especially someone you want to be with for the absolute rest of your life, you do need to have a mindset of like, okay, I'm going to be in this. Like, leaving actually is not an option. Like, I'm going to stay and I'm going to make this relationship the best that I can make it because that's what I committed to. That's what I decided to do. And leaving and being by myself is not an option. But when everybody is so quick to say, let's just give up, throw my hands up and walk away, you can't stay together that way. That doesn't make any sense. And again, this is something that I'm guilty of. I've talked about this multiple times. Like, I'm the very first person to throw my hands up and say, just don't call me no more. Leave me alone. But again, that's not how you stay in a relationship. And I think that a lot of us are at that place, both men and women, where we have decided it's easier to just be by myself. And yes, it is easier in a lot of ways for you to be by yourself, but that doesn't mean that that is the answer, especially since there's only so much growing and self-development and healing that you can do when you're by yourself. Once you get to a certain point, you need someone there to reflect you back to you. You need someone to show you your shortcomings. You need somebody to show you the things in you that still need to be healed. So being single and being alone and just giving up on having relationships as soon as they get tough is not the answer. And I really do think that is why we're in such an epidemic.
This just has to be said, but to have a man is to settle. It's just a simple fact of the matter. If you want a boyfriend, if you want a husband, you will have to settle in some area. Not all areas, but in some area, some desire, some want that you expect out of men, you will have to settle. Not because you won't, it's just because they're men. It's just the fact that they're men. To have a man is to settle. Like, they're not perfect beings. They're actually far from perfect. They're very imperfect. Women are more perfect than men. Like, I'm not even trying to get like political or anything, but like, it's the simple fact of the matter. Like, men aren't perfect. They're very flawed creatures. And if you want one, if you want a husband, you will have to settle. And that doesn't mean he should like abuse you or you should just settle for anything. You definitely shouldn't. But just have in your mind that you will have to settle in some aspect, unfortunately.
That is what I'm here for. Come on. You came for... Yes, I came for the niggas. They should come out. Yeah, I'm out for them.
All right, so the video I made yesterday got a few comments just like this, and I wanted to address it. But first, I wasn't expecting this big of a response to my video. I got like 20K views, 500 likes, and I know that's not a lot to some people, but It's a lot to me, so I appreciate y'all. So he said women don't want men who would need to go to singles events. And I'm not going to lie, there's some truth to that. A lot of the type of guys women are looking for aren't necessarily the guys that'll walk into those events. But my point in making that video wasn't necessarily to try to attract the guys that they want. There's no guys going at all. And I think that has to do with, like I said, the marketing. But let's address this comment specifically. Somebody else commented about another video where a young lady who went to one of these singles events said that the guys there weren't giving. And that's like a common term women are using nowadays. I never seen the video, but I can only imagine how that video went. You know, makes a lot of sense. But I think that we need to realize what these single events are. You know, these are people who aren't in relationships, and there's reasons these people might not be in relationships, you know what I'm saying? So you have to understand what you're going to get into, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be uber attractive when you go to these events. And let's be honest, when you go to these events, not every woman is the, you know, stereotypical attractive woman for whatever reason. So I think just if we're trying to actually have these singles events be successful, we have to realize, like, look, these are single people, and we need to go in here and try to make some kind of connection. If you're going there looking for a supermodel or Prince Charming, maybe be ready to change that idea just a little bit.
So I got sick of the dating apps and decided to attend 2 different dating events this past week in Atlanta. And these experiences really put into perspective just the overall dating climate. I thought I was going to come in there and be the bomb. When I tell you I was humbled, a certain group of women told me that my shoes were not giving, meaning that my shoes were not up to par. I was wearing some Air Jordans, and apparently I had a crease or 2 in them. I don't even know why you're looking down there. Really? And just tonight alone, I had 4 different women. None of them knew each other, okay? These were 4 separate conversations where all 4 of them said, "You're so handsome, you're well put together, you seem like a great catch, but I'm just not attracted to you. I'm sorry, I can't. And you seem like a great guy, but When I tell you, humbling, a very, very humbling experience. Another woman literally said to me, "Nigga, why is you talking to me?" Because we're here to mingle. That's what we're here for. What? Ironically, the best conversations I had at both of these events were with women that I had no intention of being with romantically. Beautiful women, don't get me wrong. But I asked them, I said, "Why are y'all single?" And they told me, well, the men that we like don't want us back. I looked around and there were so many guys that were just standing around. And I walked up to them. I said, "Hey, man, how are you enjoying the event?" And they were nervous. They're dealing with all these different feelings and thoughts. And that's when it hit me. I'm really not that special. Because there's some woman that's probably attracted to me that I'm not attracted to. And so the cycle repeats itself, so on and so forth. And ultimately, everybody's just trying to find their person. It just is what it is. But I recognize for myself, right, that I am the most happiest when I am not chasing, when I'm not out here searching for love, when I'm not out here seeking it. I thought that by almost 30 years old, that I would have my person by now. I'd have a house with a picket fence, the marriage. I thought that I would have these things acquired. But I had to let go of that timeline and recognize that we're not living in the same world that we grew up in. And that's just the fact of the matter. But ultimately, when you get past all of the need for romance, need to attract someone, need to come across as a viable option, and you get down to the heart of the matter, that's where the truest, most genuine relationships are formed. I'm going to spend more of my time with my creations because I feel that they give me and bring me great joy. More joy than trying to be enough for somebody. And if I find my person, hey, cool, it happens. But if not, I'm good. I'm really good. I mean, tonight really these past couple nights, but really tonight opened my eyes to a lot. The highlight of my night was actually finding my birthday twin. This girl, she had the exact same birth date as me, even down to the year. And then we went to go tell one of her, not close friends, but affiliates, that we had the same birthday. And she asked, when was our birthday? And then she said, I got the same birthday. So all three of us had the same birthday. And then later in the night, I was telling another woman that birthday story. And she said, oh, when's your birthday? And I told her my birthday. She got the same birthday, April 2nd. We all four of us got the same birthday. Other great connections that I made were with guys who were in the same boat as me. Guys who were like, hey, let's come together as a group and go over to that other group of women and let's talk to them and chat it up with them. I definitely wanted it to be something where it was a little more interactive than what it was. It was kind of cliquish. I don't need to pay to attend a dating event to see you see the person across the room and then not speak. Like, we're good. I got all these other events to go to if I want to just do that. But kudos to everybody else for continuing to put yourself out there. I hope that everybody finds what it is they're looking for. But as for 2025, F Valentine's Day. Stay focused on your mission. Stay focused on your passion. And I feel like you will find it when you're not looking for it, because I know that that's cliche to say, but every time I've tried to put myself out there for it, every time I've tried to get out and get involved, it's just when you're trying to make it happen, when you're trying to, I said in that clip, be intentional, oftentimes, I don't know what it is about energy, but it's like it pushes it away, but when you're out here connecting with people, making great genuine connections with nothing in expectation, not trying to attract anyone, not trying to entice anyone, I think that's where the best relationships are formed. And hey, should they culminate in something more, or should they progress, then cool. But if not, you're not tripping. You're not worrying. You're not looking at yourself, re-examining yourself, trying to see, okay, do I need to change, the things that make me me? Am I not good enough? Am I not worthy enough? Because everybody's number one in their life. Everybody is feeling like they're not worthy enough for the type of person that they're trying to attract. But what's meant for you will be for you. And that's just the bottom line. That's all I got to say about it.
Y'all, I just wanted to chime in on this part right about here. Now, the guy showed his shoes. They look fine to me. They just look like regular shoes. But I don't know what you young females out here looking for. But can we not just go too heavy on the shoes nowadays? Because it's a lot of dusties who know that women look at shoes. So they dress all nice and stuff. And then next thing you know, you a baby mama because you with a guy that you thought was cool because you liked his shoes. And now, so can we not try to do too much with the shoes? I know shoes are sort of important. I mean, if he came and his shoes was all scuffed up, or it looked like he just came outside for burying the body, I understand. But if they just shoes, y'all have to learn to relax. There are so many women looking for men, and there's men obviously looking for women. There's still some out here. But it begs the question, what are y'all looking for? Are you single right now and happy to be single, but are you saying you single because it's nothing in the dating pool? Because this man and a couple of other men that I've seen was complaining about not being able to get good women or nice women to speak to because women are not interested. They're very interested in black women, but the black women ain't checking for them. Now, I know, fellas, some of y'all will say, well, it's a certain swag that a man has to have, because my husband says it all the time, right? You got the men and you got them incels, right? But then you got the nerdy, nice black guys. Okay? Hear me out. Hear me out. Some of y'all females need a nerdy knock. I'm just saying. That rah-rah shish kumbah stuff ain't working. Okay? This man's in the military. And let me tell you, the enormous amount of comments of white women saying, we'll take you, baby. We don't care about what your shoes look like, was crazy work. It was crazy work. Now, I'm not saying
I'm not saying get with the man because, you know, you don't want him to go to white women. But what I am saying is if he does, y'all really can't get mad when y'all see that. You know, and I seen him. I seen another guy on here who like, the one guy is just like single. He's like, I'm single because, you know, I love me some black women, but they're not checking for me. So a lot of people assume that I date other ethnicities because, you know, black women ain't checking for me, but I'm still holding out. I get it, y'all. I get it. But I mean, if it ain't working, it's not working. Y'all gonna have to find something different. I mean, y'all can't, I don't know. I mean, y'all could do what you want at this point, be single for the rest of your life or just not. But can we at least try just a little bit? I remember there was a time where females wouldn't date big dudes, right? Because it was like big dudes was this and big dudes was that and that. And then after some years, women start giving big dudes a chance and they were happy. And some were even madder because the big dudes played them. And they was like, how dare you, fat? That's another story. But my point is, women, y'all, I'm happily married and I got the person I wanted. So, but y'all, if y'all want a specific type of man, you have to qualify for that man to want you. If you don't qualify for that man to want you, you might need to reevaluate your priorities. Because from what this sounds like from this man and other men, it's very shallow. But make no mistake, he admitted in this video a lot of the women that were willing to talk to him wasn't up to his level either. But I've been telling everybody years now, it ain't too many. I don't know. I ain't really seen a lot of light-skinned men winning. You know, there was a comedian who said, light-skinned men gonna eventually come back in. We coming back eventually. I thought it was hilarious. But that's neither here nor there. People like the Morris Chestnuts versus Terrence Howards, right? And I think we should just like try to just see how it would be like with somebody who's a little bit nerdy. Why am I pushing this agenda? Because I have some nerdy sons. Ain't no gangster bone in their body, honey. None of them. And that's okay because they not gangsters. They come from a privileged household with parents who take good care of them. So no. So I have a son that looks low-key like this. Okay? Light skin, bright brown eyes. Some of y'all in the comments already know who I'm talking about. And he's very nerdy. He's not even 13 yet, and he scripts for fun. He scripts and codes for fun, okay? My son's a nerd, and I love it. He likes looking outside in the stars and at the planets and stuff like that. It's just all that. Went to the science center, blew his mind. He was so excited. So that type of job that he'll be aiming for will be either in tech or he was considering trying to join NASA. Good money. You know, my son's handsome. You feel me? All my boys are handsome. You feel me? But if he's nerdy like people perceive this man to be, I guess my son gonna be doomed. So, oh, child, you know, I'm just trying to get everybody to think of a different perspective. If these thugs and all this other stuff that y'all be seeing, be like, oh, that's a man, he can protect me, because I know that's what y'all thinking. Y'all equate this gangster life to protection, and we probably need to slow that down a bit. But because you can't have the best of both worlds all the time. Okay, now some of us can, but a lot of us can't. And I'm just saying, if you single and you look into from that for something different, why don't you try something different? It's 2025. If that's what you're seeking, if not, stay single. Hell, I don't care. I'm just saying, yeah, we got to start changing the outlook on how we perceive things and see things, and maybe things will change. You know, I see a lot of black men complain about the shallowness of how some women are. I believe Poor Man's Podcast just did a video about a woman complaining about a guy, and she was talking about how ugly he was and stuff, and I was like, dang, if a dude came on here and said this about the woman, they would eat him up in the comments. Society will make your head hurt. Yes, it will. But anyway, ladies, if you are single, this ain't for the people who single and happy to be single. You happy to be single, that's fine and dandy. Okay? Enjoy your singleness, child. I'm not here to convince you to be with somebody if you don't want to be with somebody. But for the women who just like, man, this dating pool is cray-cray. Try nerds. Try a little bit more nerdy, right? Because I don't think that this man would not be incapable of protecting somebody. He's in the military, for goodness sakes. Like, what's going on, right? And even with my oldest son, another nerd, like, it's just, ladies, what we doing, ladies? What we doing, y'all? Honestly, I want y'all all to win. I want y'all to find your person because truthfully, to be honest, when you are with someone who really, really, really ride for you, because when I tell you my husband will kill a rock and drown a drop of water behind me, it's such a wonderful feeling. It's such a wonderful feeling to have somebody to have your back, to show you love. You can give love in return. It's equal, even playing field. You ain't got to worry about all the drama. The drama usually 9 times out of 10 be outside of your household, you know. Then kids be ghetto and all that other stuff. But that stuff is growing pains. But for the less toxicity, like, can we just start getting, you know, more sophisticated men who are doing well for themselves versus the blue faces of the world? Anybody? No? Yes? Y'all let me know in the comments. Fellas, single fellas out there, if y'all are single and y'all are having a hard time and y'all stuff is together, don't be trying to comment from your mama basement. Okay? And women too. Y'all don't be trying to put your single 2 cents in your mama basement too, because, you know, yeah. Okay? But for the single men who got their stuff together, who are looking for some women that, you know, got their stuff together, y'all too. A lot of these women with these BBLs and stuff don't be checking for that. And I'm pretty sure them girls that he was talking about were very pretty. But it's not for me to decide. And honestly, for the women, it's not for me to decide either. But just try it. Y'all just try. If what you attract is not working for you, because every time you attract somebody like that, something go awry, do something different. Do something different. Okay? Now, child, hey, just let me know in the comments. I'm out.
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena zone.